as with boxing, when it's at the elite stage, you can't play games.
Out necessarily striving to win. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I told you. It's WWE. Okay? This is WWE, like I told you.
Crazy for multiple reasons. One, they have a huge size difference. Tank Davis, he's a lightweight, normally fights at 135 pounds. And Jake Paul, he's a cruiserweight, usually fights at 200 pounds.
Jake Paul is questioned by Floyd Mayweather on the no knockout rule in his impending bout with Gervonta. He contends that Jake is more concerned with marketing the event and making it an entertainment event than with actual competition. Floyd acknowledges that both boxers are aware of what they are getting into, but he feels the battle lacks seriousness. He maintains that skill and competition, not contrived regulations that make boxing into a show, should be the focus of real boxing.
But like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers.
On X, Wade Plemons said, "I think we all knew this would be an exhibition, but the Florida State Athletic Commission, saying they will display skill without necessarily striving to win using strikes and blows to the head or other full contact maneuvers, probably isn't the best to advertise the fight, LOL." Plemons is renowned for his incisive boxing observations. Here, he attacks the Athletic Commission for lowering the perceived level of intensity by highlighting the fact that fighters won't be trying to win by making full contact. His remark implies that this kind of framing lessens the enthusiasm for spectators anticipating a boxing contest. Outside of his official career, Floyd Mayweather has always thrived on competition. Analysts now think that his desire for a fight with Mike Tyson is motivated by pride and positioning as much as money. A surge of attention has been generated by the impending fight between Gervonta and Jake Paul, and Floyd is intent on demonstrating that nobody, not even his protege Tank, can eclipse him in the public eye. He made sure that the world would return its focus to Floyd by scheduling Floyd versus Mike, with his bout taking precedence over the Jake versus Tank spectacle. This is a traditional Mayweather tactic. Remain current, dominate the news, and demonstrate that his name still has unparalleled significance in boxing culture.
Now that there's so many celebrities and so many people that are known where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events, that's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis-Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson.
The question of legacy is central to the situation. Mayweather has nothing to lose from his displays because he is retired and unbeaten. For him, it is only about maintaining his finances and reputation. These specs help Jake Paul, who is still relatively new to the sport, establish his reputation. However, the verdict has deeper implications for Gervonta. At this point, his professional path is shaped by every fight he selects. Davis runs the danger of losing favor with purists who prefer to watch him compete against real opponents by putting entertaining over competition. The issue then arises: are the short-term benefits of celebrity worth the long-term repercussions?
What is going to happen in that fight is basically the same thing as what's happening to Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, except for that is a live action fight that is a real competitive fight. But the marketing of it is the same thing, and the fact that somebody is going to pay for it is more likely with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson than it is with even Jake Paul and Gervonta. But I think that it really is an attempt to compete with Gervonta Davis by setting up a bigger fight than Gervonta Davis is having. And now I'm going to tell you this something else too. I would not put it past these people.
Although the Tank versus Jake Paul bout may have been enough to take over discussions, Floyd's move makes sure that the boxing community will not be able to ignore him. He has spent decades perfecting the technique of attracting attention to himself, even if it means defying accepted boxing conventions. His most recent move shows how competitive he is. He won't allow anyone to take center stage in boxing's current period, not even Tank Davis in his best form or Jake Paul in his celebrity position. Floyd effectively repositioned himself as the main act by agreeing to the bout with Mike Tyson. Compared to Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, this plotline is significantly more marketable due to Tyson's name's inherent nostalgia and Floyd's unbeaten record. The fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis is controversial since it isn't recognized as a professional boxing match. It will just be an exhibition, a spectacle, rather than a real competitive fight because the commission has refused to authorize it as a professional fight. Critics contend that this makes the bout more like to WWE-style entertainment, where the emphasis is on spectacle rather than triumph. Many people view the event as a marketing gimmick rather than a real bout because there are no official stakes at risk and no knockouts anticipated. Although this could create temporary excitement, purists who value real competitiveness believe that boxing is less authentic as a result.
Will face Gervonta Davis in an exhibition match. Quote, "You can't do a fight like that as a pro fight," Shipman said. It'll be an exhibition fight, end quote. Similarly to the concerning location move, he states that the main reason for this is the significant weight disparity between the two opponents. An exhibition is defined by Florida statutes as a boxing, kickboxing, or mixed martial arts engagement in which persons participating show or display their skills without necessarily striving to win, using strikes, elbows, blah, blah, blah. So, the key word here is, key phrase, show or display their skills without necessarily striving to win. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I told you. It's WWE. Okay? This is WWE, like I told you. These are setup fights. These are rigged fights. I know Jake Paul gets upset when people say he ain't a real fighter and all that stuff. But I think the Mike Tyson fight pretty much showed everybody that, Mike was pulling back on his punches, and it just was weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Gervonta Tank Davis getting ready to sell his soul to go up in here and move around the ring with Jake Paul. I don't know what's going to happen on this. I don't know. But regardless of the fact, the fight is going to do well because it's going to be on Netflix. So everybody got Netflix, so everybody's going to watch the fight. So it's going to be like a wrestling event, basically, a fake scripted fight.
Paulie Molina, a former world champion, has expressed his frustrations with the Jake versus Tank fight in particular. According to him, knockouts are only worthwhile when they are used against actual, evenly matched opponents. He believes that artificial setups, such as this one, devalue the sport. Additionally, he thinks that by taking part in activities that are purely showy rather than substantive, Jake Paul is receiving unwarranted credibility. Paulie noted during his conversation with Chris Algieri that while casual spectators would find the fight entertaining, true boxing aficionados are aware that it lacks the legitimacy of legitimate championship contests. His remarks cut to the heart of the matter, genuineness. The two men's substantial weight disparity is one of the main reasons this battle cannot be regarded as a professional one. The Florida Commission made it quite evident that such a large gap leads to unfair circumstances and jeopardizes the fighter's safety. Because of this, they only authorized it as a sparring session with a preset framework for making decisions, not as an official bout. This ruling emphasizes boxing's structural limitations as a sport. There is a limit to how far entertainment can go before laws take action. The unconventional nature of the matchup is highlighted by the fact that it had to be reframed as an exhibition.